In a small village of Sumibari, there lived a man named Ade. He was a charming and handsome man, loved by all who knew him. But unbeknown to the villagers, Ade had a dark secret. He was a serial cheat. Ade was married to a beautiful and kind-hearted woman named Ewa, who was pregnant with their first child. Despite his vows, Ade couldn't resist the temptations of other women. He would often sneak away from home under the guise of business trips to spend time with his mistresses. One day, Ade met a mysterious woman named Norma, who was rumored to possess spiritual powers. She was enchanting, and Ade was immediately drawn to her. They began a passionate affair, and Ade found himself spending more and more time with Norma, neglecting his duties to Ewa and their unborn child. Meanwhile, Ewa had grown suspicious of Ade's frequent absence. She confided in her best friend, a wise old woman named Mama Ola, who revealed to her the truth about Ade's infidelity. Heartbroken and enraged, Ewa vowed to take matters into her own hands. Little did Ade know, his fate was about to take a drastic turn. Ewa, with the guidance of Mama Ola, hatched a plan to teach Ade a lesson. They prepared a special meal laced with a potent herbs, which will appear as a harmless traditional dish. The herbs was said to have the power to reveal the truth and punish the deceitful. The day Ade returned from one of his outings with his mistresses, Ewa welcomed him with a warm smile and a steaming plate of the specially prepared meal. Ade devoured the food, unaware of the consequences. At first, nothing seemed out of ordinary, but as the night wore on, Ade began to feel a strange sensation going through his veins. He became dizzy, his vision blurry, and his heart raced like a drum. Suddenly, visions of his infidelities flashed before his eyes, and he heard the voices of his mistresses whispering in his ear. The truth hit him like a thunderbolt. Ewa knew about his deceit. Ade tried to confess, but his words were stuck in his throat. The poison has taken hold of him, and they realized too late that Ewa had outsmarted him. As the villagers gathered around, Ade's body began to convulse in agony. His skin turned a pale shade, and his eyes rolled back to his head. The once charming husband and father-to-be was now a shadow of his former self. Groaning in pain, Ewa stood over him, her eyes blazing with a mix of anger and sorrow. "You should have thought of the consequences before you betrayed me, Ade," she said, her voice firm but trembling. The villagers gasped in shock, unsure of what to make of the scene unfolding before them. Some tried to intervene, but Mama Ola held them back, whispering, "Let the truth run its course." And so, Ade's fate hung in the balance as the poison got through his veins, revealing the secret he had tried so hard to keep hidden. As the villagers watched, Ade's body began to glow in a strange light. The poison was revealing the truth in a way no one had expected. Ade's infidelity, his lies, and his deceit were manifesting physically for all to see. Suddenly, the light enveloped Ewa, and she felt herself being drawn into the vision. She saw Ade's mistresses, their faces twisted in anger and betrayal. She saw the pain she had endured, the tears she had cried, and the love she had lost. But then, something unexpected happened. The vision shifted, and Ewa saw a different scene. She saw Ade not as a cheating husband she knew, but as a young man full of hope and promises. She saw their first meeting, their first kiss, and their first tender moment together. The vision revealed that Ade's infidelity was not the root of the problem, but a symptom of a deeper issue. His fears of failure, his need for validation, and his inability to communicate had led him down the path of deceit. Ewa's heart, once filled with anger and hurt, now swelled with compassion. She realized that she had been just as blind as Ade, ignoring the signs and neglecting their relationship. As the vision faded, Ewa knelt beside Ade, who lay motionless on the ground. She took his hands, and with tears streaming down her face, she whispered, "My love, I forgive you. Let us start anew." The villagers, who had watched them in shock, erupted in cheers and applause. Mama Ola, she smiled, knowing that the truth had set them free. Ewa helped him sit up, and they looked around, taking in the familiar surrounding of their home. The villagers, who had gathered to witness the dramatic event, nodded in respect as Ade's gaze met theirs. Mama Ola approached him, her eyes shining with wisdom. "Ade, my son, the truth has set you free. Will you continue to walk in the path of deceit, or will you choose the path of redemption?" Ade's eyes dropped, shame and guilt washing over him. He knew he had hurt those he loved, and he didn't know if he could ever make it right. But as he looked at Ewa, he saw something in her eyes that gave him hope. "Ewa, my love, I am sorry," Ade whispered, his voice cracking with emotion. "I was blind, and I let my fears guide me. But I promise to work every day to regain your trust, to be the husband and father I should be." Ewa's face softened, and she helped Ade on his feet. "We will walk this path together, my love. We will rebuild our relationship stronger and wiser than before," Ewa said. And so, Ade and Ewa began their journey of healing, forgiveness and redemption. They faced challenges along the way, but their love and commitment to each other kept them strong. Ade learned to communicate openly and honestly, to confront his fears and insecurity, and to cherish the love they had shared. Ewa learned to trust again, to support Ade's growth, and to nurture their relationship. Together, they became a symbol of hope and inspiration to their community, proof that even in the darkest moments, love and truth can prevail. Months passed, and Ade and Ewa's love continued to flourish. One day, as they sat at the veranda of their house, watching their child play in the yard, Ade turned to Ewa with a smile. "My love, I am so grateful for the day you poisoned me with that herbs," he said, his eyes shining with sincerity. Ewa laughed, her eyes sparkling. "I am glad it worked, my dear. But next time, let's stick to communication, not poison." Ade laughed, taking her hands. "I promise, my love, and I promise to always cherish and honor you through thick and thin." Ewa's face softened and her voice with emotion. "I love you, Ade, more than words can say. I love you too, Ewa, forever and always." As the sun set over their village, Ade and Ewa shared a tender kiss, their hearts full of joy, love and gratitude for a second chance. In that moment, the couple's bond was reborn, stronger and wiser than before. They realized that their love was worth fighting for, and that the truth, no matter how painful, was the only path to redemption. And so, Ade and Ewa's love story became a legend, told for generations to come. A reminder that love can conquer even the darkest of secrets. Thank you for watching, and see you on my next video. Bye.
My name is Ada, and this is my story. My life took an unexpected turn. As a prostitute, I was determined to provide for my younger brother Emeka. Everything changed when I encountered a king. He saw potentials in me beyond my circumstances and offered me a new life as his queen. My transformation from the street life to royalty was nothing short of miraculous. Listen to my story. I live in the city of Lagos. I have seen better days, but life has dealt harshly with me, forcing me into a profession I had never imagined for myself. I was a prostitute, but beneath the surface of my current life lay hearts full of dreams and a spirit unbroken by my circumstances. My journey into the shadows of Lagos began when I was just 16. My parents had died in a tragic car accident, leaving me and my younger brother Emeka to fend for ourselves, with no family to turn to and no means of survival. I had reluctantly taken to the streets, using my beauty as a means to provide for my brother. Despite the stigma and danger, I had done my best to keep Emeka in school and away from the same fate. Years later, and I became a familiar face in the red light districts of Lagos. I had clients, regulars who admire my resilience and beauty. Yet, I never lost sight of my dreams. I yearned for a better life, one where I could hold my head high and be proud of who I was. I longed for respect, for love, and for a chance to rewrite my story. One fateful evening, as I stood under the street lamp, a silk black cap pulled up. Out stepped a man. He was tall, with an atmosphere of authority that set him apart from my usual clients. His name was King Jidafo, the ruler of a distant kingdom in eastern Nigeria. Jidafo had come to Lagos on business, but fate had other plans for him. Jidafo had heard tales of a woman of extraordinary beauty and strength who walked the streets of Lagos. Intrigued, he decided to see for himself. As his eyes met with mine, he saw not just my beauty but the strength and determination that radiated from me. There was something about me that drew him in, a depth that he had not seen in anyone before. "Ada," he said, his voice deep and commanding, "I have come to offer you something different. Leave this life and come with me." I was taken aback. I had had many promises in my life, but there was something about Jidafo that felt genuine. Still, I was wary. "Why would I trust you?" I asked. Jidafo smiled. "Because I see in you a queen, not a prostitute. Come with me, and I promise you a life of dignity and respect." Moved by his words, I agreed. I left Lagos behind and journeyed with Jidafo to his kingdom. The transition was not easy. I struggled to leave behind the shadows of my past, but Jidafo stood by my side, helping me adapt to my new life. In time, Jidafo and myself fell deeply in love. He saw me not just as a fallen woman, but as a phoenix rising from the ashes. We got married in a grand ceremony, and I became Queen Ada, beloved by my people. I used my position to advocate for women, particularly those who had faced hardship like me. However, life had one more twist in store for me. My best friend from Lagos, Chidinma, fell gravely ill. Despite my new life, I had never forgotten Chidinma's kindness and support during my darkest days. Determined to help my friend, I decided to visit Chidinma's village, a small remote community on the outskirts of Lagos. When I arrived, the villagers were stunned. They had heard stories of the prostitute who became a queen, but seeing me in person was something entirely different. My presence brought hope and excitement to the village. I found Chidinma in a small fragile hut. "Chidinma," I said, tears wailing in her eyes, "I have come to take you to my kingdom. You will receive the best care and you will recover quickly." Chidinma, too weak to protest, nodded gratefully. I arranged for her to be transported back to the palace, where the royal physician tended to her. Chidinma's health gradually improved, and she was in amazement of my transformation. One day, as Chidinma and myself strolled through the palace garden, we were approached by another visitor. It was King Nnamdi, a neighboring ruler who had heard of my remarkable journey, captivated. He had come to see for himself the woman who had captivated not just a king, but an entire kingdom. Nnamdi was struck by my grace and confidence. He saw in me a strength that resonated with his own struggles as a ruler. Despite his admiration, Nnamdi's attention soon turned to Chidinma, who had blossomed under my care. There was something about Chidinma that drew him in, just as I had drawn Jidafor. Chidinma, Nnamdi said, his voice gentle but firm, would you consider coming to my kingdom? I see in you the strength and kindness that my people need. Chidinma was taken aback. She had never imagined that a king would notice her, let alone offer her a place in his kingdom. But seeing the sincerity in Nnamdi's eyes, she felt a glimmer of hope for a new beginning. With my encouragement, Chidinma agreed. She traveled with Nnamdi to his kingdom, where she was welcomed with open arms. Chidinma and Nnamdi became closer, and in time, they too fell in love and got married. Though we have faced the harshest of realities and found love and respect in the most unexpected places, Chidinma and myself became symbols of hope and resilience, proving that no matter the odds, one's destiny could be rewritten. The bond between Chidinma and myself grew even stronger as we adjusted to our new lives as queen. We visit each other often, sharing our experience and supporting each other in our respective role. We both had a deep understanding of the struggle faced by the less fortunate, and we used our position to champion causes close to our hearts. When I finally settled in Jidafor's kingdom, I took a particular interest in establishing programs that provide education and vocational training for women and girls. I believe that education was a key to breaking the circle of poverty and exploitation. With the king's support, I set up schools and workshops, ensuring that every girl in the kingdom had an opportunity to learn and grow. One day, as I was visiting one of the schools I had established, I met a young girl named Ifunanya. Ifunanya reminded me of myself, bright, determined, and full of potentials. However, Ifunanya's family was struggling, and the girl faced many obstacles in her pursuit for education. I saw in her a chance to make a real difference. Ifunanya, I said, kneeling down to speak to the girl at eye level, I want you to know that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. I would personally ensure that you have everything you need to succeed. With my support, Ifunanya thrived. She excelled in her studies and in time became a leader in her community. My heart swelled with pride as I watched the young girl grow into a confident and capable young woman. My effort was gaining recognition beyond the borders. Delegates from neighboring kingdoms came to learn from my initiatives, and I became a respected figure in the region. My transformation from a woman of the streets to a reference queen was a testament to my strength and resilience. They therefore often marvel at my impact. You have brought so much light to our kingdom, he said one evening as we walked through the palace garden. I am so proud of you, Ada. I smiled, my heart full of joy. I could not have done it without your support, therefore. Together, we are stronger. Our story spread far and wide, inspiring countless others to believe in the power of love, redemption, and the indomitable human spirit. And in the kingdom of Jidafor and Nnamdi, lived happily ever after. Our past was a distant memory, our future bright and full of promises. Thank you for watching. See you on my next video. Bye.
In the village of Umwike, there lived a girl named Amara. Amara was a name that people had strong opinion about. She was a very pretty and charming young woman who caught people's attention. However, Amara was also known for her behaviors with men. She had been with many men in the village. Amara's story begins on a sunny afternoon as she walked through the village market, her hips swaying to the rhythm of the music playing in her head. She was a vision of beauty, her long black hair flowing down her back like a waterfall, her bright smile illuminating the faces of the villagers she greeted. But behind that charming smile, Amara hid a secret that would soon become the talk of the village. As she walked, Amara's eyes met with those of Obi, a handsome young man who had recently moved to the village. Their eyes locked, and for a moment time stood still. Amara felt a flutter in her chest, a sensation she had not experienced in a long time. She smiled, and Obi returned the gesture, his eyes never leaving hers. Little did Amara know, her life was about to take a dramatic turn. Obi was different from the other men in the village. He was kind, gentle, and had a heart of gold. And as their paths continued to cross, Amara found herself drawn to him in ways she never experienced before. But Amara's past was not easily forgotten. Her reputation preceded her, and the villagers whispered among themselves, wondering how long it would take for Obi to discover her secrets. Would he be able to see beyond the promiscuous ways and love her for who she truly was? Or would Amara's past prove too much for him to handle? As Amara and Obi's friendship blossomed, the villagers' curiosity grew. They wondered how long it would take for Obi to discover Amara's secret. One person who was eager to fill Obi in on Amara's past was Ifoma, the village gossip. Ifoma cornered Obi at the village square, a slight grin spreading across her face. "Obi, my dear, I need to tell you something about Amara," she said, her voice dripping with malice. "She's not as innocent as she seems, oh. In fact, she had been with almost every man in this village. Did she tell you that?" Obi listened, his expression unreadable. Amara's past was not a secret, but he had chosen to ignore it, focusing on the present. But Ifoma's words stirred up doubt in his mind. Was Amara truly the right woman for him? Meanwhile, Amara sensed a change in Obina's behavior. He was distant, preoccupied. She knew something was wrong, but couldn't quite put her finger on it. Little did she know, her past was catching up with her, threatening to destroy her chance at true love. Amara's intuition proved correct. Obina's behavior changed, and he began to distance himself from her. She sensed that something was wrong and decided to confront him. "Obi, what's going on?" Amara asked, her voice laced with concern. "You have been acting strange lately. Is everything okay?" Obi's eyes, avoiding Amara's. "Ifoma told me about your past. I'm trying to process it all." Amara's heart sank. She knew that this day would come, but she had hoped Obi would be different. "So, you believe Ifoma's gossip?" she asked, her voice laced with concern. Obi looked at her, his eyes searching. "I want to believe you, Amara, but I need to know the truth. Is it true? Have you been with all those men?" Amara took a deep breath, her past flashing before her eyes. She could not deny it. "But what's the point?" "Yes, Obi, it's true. I have made mistakes in the past, but I'm not that person anymore. I have changed." Obi's expression was unreadable, and Amara's heart raced with anxiety. Would he accept her for who she was, or would her past prove too much for him to handle? The fate of their relationship hung in the balance. Obi's silence was eating deep into Amara. Amara's heart raised as she awaited his response. Finally he spoke, his voice laced with disappointment. "Amara, I need time to think. I can't promise you anything right now." Amara felt a stinging sensation in her eyes as tears began to form. She knew what was coming. "Obi, please, don't give up on me," she pleaded, her voice cracking. Obi's expression softened, but his resolve remained firm. "I need time, Amara. I can't ignore what Ifoma told me. Your past is a part of you, and I need to decide if I can accept it. Amara nodded. She knew she couldn't force Obi to stay. With a heavy heart, she looked as he walked away, leaving her alone and uncertain about her future. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Obi's silence was a constant reminder of the fate of their relationship. Amara's heart was shattered into a million pieces, and she wondered if she would ever be able to put them back together again. But Amara was a strong woman, and she refused to give up. She knew she had to confront her past and prove to Obi that she was more than her mistakes. She began to seek counsel from the village elder, Mama Nne, determined to heal and move forward. Amara sat at Mama Nne's feet, her eyes brimming with tears. Mama, I have made so many mistakes. I don't know if I can ever make it right. Mama Nne's wise eyes looked into Amara's. Amara, my child, we all make mistakes, but it's how we learn from them that matters. You have taken the first step by acknowledging your past. Now, let's work on healing and moving forward. With Mama Nne's guidance, Amara began to confront her past, one step at a time. She started by apologizing to those she had hurt, including some of the men she had been involved with. It wasn't easy, but with each apology, she felt a weight lift up from her shoulder. As Amara worked on her personal growth, she also focused on her passion for weaving. She spent hours at her loom, creating beautiful fabrics that told stories of her journey. Her hard work paid off when she received a commission from the palace to create a special fabric for the king's coronation. Amara's reputation as a talented weaver spread throughout the land, and people began to see her in a new light. She was no longer just the village wild child, but a strong, capable woman who had overcome her past. Meanwhile, Obi looked at Amara's transformation from afar, his heart swelling with pride. He realized he had been too quick to judge her and was now eager to make amends. Obi finally gathered the courage to approach Amara, his heart filled with regret and longing. Amara, I was wrong to judge you. Your strength and resilience inspired me. Can you ever forgive me and give me another chance? Amara's eyes searched his. Seeing the sincerity there, she smiled, her heart full of joy. Obi, I forgave you long time ago. I have grown and learned so much. I am ready for a new beginning with you. Obi's face lit up with happiness as he embraced Amara. From that moment on, they were always together. Their love story became a legend in the village, a testament to the power of forgiveness, growth, and second chance. Amara's weaving business flourished, and she became renowned for her beautiful fabric. Obi supported her every step of the way, and together they built a happy life filled with love, laughter, and purpose. As they sat together, watching the sunset, Amara turned to Obi with a smile. You know, I never thought I would find happiness like this. But here we are, living our best life. Obi smiled. My love, thank you for your strength, the beauty and the power of second chance. And so, Amara and Obi lived happily ever after, their love story woven into the fabric of village history, inspiring generations to come. The moral of this story is that everyone deserves second chance, and that's personal growth. Forgiveness and love can lead to a happier and more fulfilling life. It also highlights the importance of looking beyond people's past mistakes and appearance to see their true potentials. Thank you for watching. See you on my next video. Bye.